Continuing on with our season previews, as today we're moving over to the National League side of things, where I'm starting out with the Chicago Cubs. No real intro needed, let's get right into the video. The Cubs are coming off 2 consecutive down seasons, as in 2021 they won 71 games, followed up by 74 last season. While they are down seasons, they aren't necessarily disappointing because over the past 2 years, the Cubs really haven't had the most talent in the world, so not much was expected out of them anyways. And these sub-500 seasons aren't something that Cubs fans have been accustomed to lately, as they've made the postseason in 5 of the past 8 seasons. But coming off a 74-win season last year, I'm impressed with what the Cubs have done so far this offseason. They've picked up some impact names in Dansby Swanson, Cody Bellinger, Jameson Taillon, Brad Boxberger, Tucker Barnhart, Eric Hosmer, and Trey Mancini. As for their losses, there's only a few significant names in Wade Miley and of course Wilson Contreras. So in my opinion, this roster has improved pretty significantly from last season. Getting onto their offense, they were pretty average last season as they had a .698 team OPS which ranked 17th and 159 home runs which also ranked 17th. Now looking at the 2023 projected lineup, we have to start with Dansby Swanson, who they picked up from the Braves, who last year had a career year where he hit .277 with 25 home runs and 18 stolen bases. They also picked up Cody Bellinger, the former National League MVP from the Dodgers, who last year hit .210 with 19 home runs and 14 stolen bases. Bellinger may not be what he once was, but I still think he is a productive bat in this lineup that is going to have a positive impact. And we can't forget about the Cubs' best player last season in Nico Hoerner, who hit .281 with 10 home runs and 20 stolen bases. Hoerner is also a Gold Glove caliber middle infielder, and I think he's one of the best middle infielders in the game today. He does not get nearly enough respect. They also have Ian Happ, who last year hit .271 with 17 home runs and 9 stolen bases. Happ is another impact player on this offense who is a really good defender. In the outfield, he is close to a Gold Glove caliber outfielder. They also have a power bat in Patrick Wisdom, who only hit .207 last year but had 25 home runs in limited time. Seiya Suzuki is another pretty decent bat in this offense who last year hit .262 with 14 home runs and 9 stolen bases. As mentioned earlier, they picked up Trey Mancini from the Astros, who last year hit .239 with 18 home runs. They also have Christopher Morel, who very quietly hit .235 with 16 home runs and 10 stolen bases last season. I also think Eric Hosmer, who they picked up from the Red Sox this offseason, could have an impact on this team. Last year, he hit .268 with 8 bombs. As for the catching duties, it looks like it may be 50-50 at this point between Tucker Barnhart and Yan Gomes. As for a few other names who could have an impact on this team offensively, we have Nick Madrigal and Brennan Davis. I also want to mention a couple prospects in this offense who could potentially have an impact in Pete Crow Armstrong, who's an outfielder who is the number 28 prospect in baseball, and Kevin Alcantara, another outfielder who is the number 87 prospect. So as a whole, I do think this offense is going to be slightly improved from last year. Yes, they did lose Wilson Contreras, but I think the pickups of Dansby Swanson and Cody Bellinger will outweigh that loss. Now getting on to their pitching, it wasn't too good last season as they had a 4-team ERA which ranked 20th. As for their starting rotation, it looks like Marcus Stroman is going to be the ace, as last year in 139 innings he posted a 3.5 ERA. They also picked up Jameson Taillon from the Yankees, who was pretty good last season, as in 177 innings he posted a 3.91 ERA. They also have Kyle Hendricks, who last year in 84 innings posted a 4.8 ERA. I do want to mention that Hendricks is recovering from a shoulder injury, so he may not be ready to pitch by opening day, but once healthy he is definitely going to slot into this rotation. They also have Keegan Thompson, who was pretty good last year, as in 115 innings he posted a 3.76 ERA. Drew Smyly is another option for the back end of this rotation, as last year in 106 innings he had a 3.47 ERA. And we can't forget about Justin Steele, who may have been the Cubs' best pitcher last season, as in 119 innings he had a 3.18 ERA with 126 strikeouts. As for a couple other starting options, we have Javier Assad and Hayden Wisniewski. So similar to their offense, I think this starting rotation could be slightly improved from last season. Now getting onto their bullpen, it also wasn't too great last year, as I had a 4.12 bullpen ERA which ranked 21st. It looks like the 9th inning role is going to go to Brandon Hughes, who last year posted a 3.12 ERA, all while locking down 8 saves. As for their other bullpen options, they have 3 last year who posted a sub 3.5 ERA in Adbert Alzolay, Brad Boxberger, and Adrian Sampson. Now, I will admit, I do think their bullpen is the weakness of their team. I think their offense and starting pitching could be improved, but I'm not too sure about this bullpen. So now that we went through this roster top to bottom, let's take a look at the Cubs' outlook record-wise. Like I said earlier on and throughout the video, I do like their off-season pickups. The only real issue I do see with this team is their bullpen. As for their win total, I do think they're going to be right around 80 wins. And if all goes right and everything falls into place, I could see the Cubs maybe even winning 85, but I'm originally going to stick with 80 or so wins. So really, the Cubs could be a sneaky good team this year. I don't think many teams have them on their radar, but I think they're a lot better than people are anticipating. As for the postseason, I don't think they are there quite yet, but I do think they are going to be sneaky good. Like I said, I don't think a lot of teams are going to want to see them in September. Let me know what you guys think of the Cubs down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.